Hello guys, it is Jead, and we have got a gamble SBC so worth it that even I'm going to complete it. I'll even do another one in the video. Should you do this SBC, we're going to talk about it. Not only that, but I think I have found the best active Evo chain in the entire game. Take a look at this Isane card, 90 rated centre mid. Look at the stats, look at the play styles. This is a fully active chain I found before, 6'2" centre mid. Genuinely, I think this might be the best Evo in the entire game right now, no bias. I'll show you how you can do this. It does take about 500 games. And of course, coins. Maybe one of our best nights in the entire game cycle for coins last night. We are up about 500 to 700,000 coins overnight, and we are still selling some more coins or some more cards. Can we invest in some more cards? Of course we can. We will talk about that as well, followed by what I think the state of the game is right now and why you might not be enjoying it. So subscribe if you're not a pillock. Leave a like while you are down there, and let's jump into it. And guys, if you want to use players like this and just need that little extra boost, then you can get your cheap, fast, and most importantly, safe FC26 coins at eldorado.gg. They have 24/7 support, a money-back guarantee, and you can use code JEAD at checkout to get another 5% off your order. Link is in the description. So concept, boys, that icon SBC is there should you complete it. It was not the only thing we got. We, of course, got the best player in the world in 2022, because that is not an old joke. We got Beth Mead. It is a must-avoid SBC, in my opinion, maybe unless you're an Arsenal fan. Whip Pass Plus this year is pretty much a useless playstyle. She does have 5-star skills, but apart from that, she's useless, boys. Genuinely, incisive is nice. No ticky, no low driven, no rapid. I just don't need to go over that card. Don't complete it. However, we did get a showdown SBC between Navarro and Picard. I think Picard was like a writer or something, wasn't he, in real life? I don't know. But this card does interest me. If they give her finesse shot, if her team wins, if Paris do win, finesse shot on this with low driven, incisive, ping, ticky, and intercept is an amazing card for a central midfielder. Slight problem. She's 5'7" and, you know, doesn't have that presence in midfield, but she is lengthy, I guess. You know, we love a lengthy card this year. Hopefully she would go to 4-star, 4-star, or even 5-star, 4-star. I think she could be a really nice card for 2 squads completed and being pretty cheap with an 84 and 85. Genuinely might be a card I complete, even for evolutions, right? Think about it. We have 87 rated evolutions. Whack this card in something like a double playstyle plus evolution that gives finesse plus, and you've got an insane finesse plus, intercept plus, box-to-box centre mid. Navarro, not as good. More popular. She's actually more upvoted on Footbin. In my opinion, not as good, just because you have so many better wingers than this, and Tech Plus is a bit wasted. But of course, we are here for the Icon SBC. We go over to upgrades. Now, why is this such a good SBC, and why should you complete it, or should you complete it? We head on over to Footbin. You can see this is 250,000 coins, massively upvoted, and this is why, okay? If we go and have a look at the last Icon player pick we got, not the Icon pack, but the player pick, which God knows where we can find it, you'll see that a 1 of 388 Icon player pick is 100,000 coins more expensive, and that's for 388 rated cards, okay? This is 100,000 less coins. The reason this is so good is 89, so they've upped it from the 88, right? 89 rated. It's 100,000 less coins than the player pick. Icon SBCs, in my opinion, should give you a decent chance at a good card, but should not ruin the club. You should ruin your club for cards like Gilberto Silva, Chiellini, the Winter Wildcards matchday pick, if you're going to go and do that. You should not ruin it for an Icon pick, and look at some of the things you can get in this 89 Encore upgrade, with it being Time Warp, Unbreakable, Thunderstruck, Winter Wildcards, and Champion Icons. Got on Foot GG, we put all the icons in, and we're sorting by price, high to low. We've, of course, put the 89 rating cap in. Look at some of the cards you can get in this for 250,000 coins, or for a lot of you guys, like I'm going to do one in this video, a free gamble, right? Cruyff, Arnai, Maradona, Henri, Maldini, Ronaldinho, Ibra, Zidane. Even if you scroll down to some of the L's, right? These are now you're getting towards some of the L's. Look how many cards we could still get in your team. Now, obviously, you might have Evos better than these cards. I get it. Everyone has nice Evos now. But Morgan, Puyol, Cannavaro, Cafu, right back, Pirlo, Thunderstruck, Xavi. That is an amazing card, right? If you go down to the 89 rated, look at the L's, okay? Gerrard, L, Fudi, L, Figo, L, Cruyff. There is some L's down here. But even some of the top tier cards, Chiellini, Khan, Abili, that Shearer card's insane. Ribery, Zanetti. The L's in this pick are still okay. Do they get in everyone's team? No, obviously they don't. It's a gamble SBC. Iniesta, Totti. Some of these cards that'll fit Evos in a month or so time when they're 89 rated, like Marcelo, Totti, Khan for a goalkeeper for the rest of the year. Of course, there's L's in it, but look at the ratio, right? Look at page 2, look at page 1. I think it's heavily weighted towards dubs in this pack. Now, of course, like some of these cards, although they're really, really expensive, might not be as meta as some of your Evos, but at the end of the day, it's a 1.8 million coin card if you got this Henri, so I think it's definitely worth it. Should you do all 3 every single day? Probably not. Make sure you get yourself Chiellini or Gilberto Silva, but we'll do one in this video. I think this is really, really worth it, and I think you should give this one a go if you're, prone to a bit of a gamble. And as we complete the final 85 rated squad, I hope everyone is having a good day, having a good start to the week. We have got the 89 plus Encore icon. I said money where the mouth is. I do think they're worth it. At the end of the day, if you do it and you get nothing, it's a gamble SBC. But when we do get a gamble SBC that's worth it, then you got to go and complete it, right? So we'll open the 2-player pack now. We will save that 89 icon pack for the video, and we'll see who we get. Hopefully we get a dub, because we do need to upgrade the team a little bit. But speaking of upgrading the team, evolutions are starting to cook just because of the amount of change you can do. Not because we've got an insane evolution, but the amount of change you can now do is starting to up the pace a little bit. We did, of course, get an evolution yesterday, which was the invisible wall. Now, this is part of that insane chain I do want to show you, but the invisible wall on its own, in my opinion, is not a great evolution. I think you should use it as a chain, how I'm going to show you how I'm going to use it on the player to get an insane box-to-box centre mid. Because if you use it on someone like Pogba, it's just a bit underwhelming. It gives decent stat upgrades, but it's definitely meant for a lower-rated card as part of a chain to combine with other evolutions. Because for 35,000 coins on some of these higher-end cards like McGlynn, yes, it's okay, and he is one of the better options, but it's just a bit meh. You can get cards like this pretty easily now, and it's nothing special, especially being one playstyle plus as well. So we can talk about how to chain that evolution, but that is the only big one we've got. So I guess we will jump into it and how you can get an insane card right now that is completely active, and how I found this card as well, because there's other cards like that you can do, like if you want to do a different position or whatever. Okay, so here he is, right? I want to try and take the chemistry style off him. Can we just click X on that so you can see the base card? It'll keep it on, right? Okay, boom. So this is the Cisse card that I'm doing, and it is using that invisible wall. It's using a lot of evos, as you can imagine, to get a card like this. Now, you can get intercept on this card. However, I don't have the intercept reward anymore. But apart from that, unless you've obviously used the intercept reward like me, this is a fully active evo chain. I'm going to use him as an attacking box-to-box centre mid. But 5-star, 5-star, Incisive Plus, you guys know, the most broken playstyle on the entire game right now. Probably the number one broken thing with gameplay is Incisive Plus and through balls. I don't know about you guys, when people just spam through balls through my defense, I want to kill myself. But low driven, Incisive Plus, 92 pace, 91 shooting, 90 dribbling, 90 defending, with 89 physical. And look at this, right? 86 passing, but look at his passing stats. It's because he has 55 crossing and 74 free kicks. He has 98 vision, 90 long pass, 96 short pass, 94 curve. I think this might be one of the best Evo, probably the best Evo I've seen in the entire game. You can play him at striker, right wing, CDM, play him how you want to play him. You can even make him lengthy with a sniper. We all know how we love a lengthy card these days. And yes, he is 6'2", leaning tall. This card is insane, right? Let me show you how you can do similar cards. This is the Evo chain for him, so, you know, strap in. It's a big chain. Finesse shot plus reward that recently came out. You put him into the Prince from Arenes, into that invisible wall we're just talking about. Get your protein. All the roll evos, that's obviously personal preference. You can put him in what you want to put him in. Make the link. Now, this looks stressful. This is just to get his curve up. That's all this is doing, is getting his curve up, because his curve is, you know, really nice in the final evo. You don't have to put him into all those. And then it's just wall in the back from the season pass. Get your protein. That ball is mine. Precision passer, just one of them. An icon, attacker, glow up. That is, of course, the big expensive evo. But for a card like this, I think it is worth it. And again, if you've got intercept, you can put intercept on him. But the reason I found this card was positions, right? Honestly, boys, the way to find the best chains on this entire game is put a max rating in, put positions in from the current evos, right? So icon attacker, I wanted a card that, you know, was an attacker to put in icon attacker. I wanted a card that fit the invisible wall and the Prince of Arenes. So I was just messing around with centre mid left wings, centre mid right wings, centre mid strikers, seeing what I could do, and using cards either have a good body type, good height at the start, or have base play styles, right? You can find strikers, centre mids, like this card here. You can play striker, make sure we put centre mid in, has all selected positions. You can find here, look, striker who can play centre mid, this Danny Lorenzo card. You click on him, we don't want inventive, so we'll click off that, and you'll go and just go through cards here. This guy, right? Striker, centre mid, can fit multiple evos, has finesse shot. You can, obviously, because they're low rated, you can go put them into some crazy chains, and that is how we found this card here. Let me know, what's the best evo you've got in your team? But this is the card I'm doing right now. I need a desperate upgrade for the team. I'm doing Van der Ven in the iconic defender glow up, but a lot of you guys, I assume, are taking that 93 plus campaign pack from Icon Swap, so let me know. Now, the rest of content I want to talk about is probably the single most important thing, right? Is what we've got in objectives right now. The reason this is so important is because this is what is people complaining about with the game, right? I'm going to explain it towards the end. This here, the lightweight tournament and the heavyweight tournament, they're really good for the game. It's gameplay. It is really good. This is EA not trying to manipulate you. That's too harsh. This is how EA and the sort of FC has become more of a money grab or interaction farming game than an enjoyment game in the past few years. And I want to talk about that, right? So we'll jump into the objectives. Of course, that is going to be towards the end. I want to talk about the community and different things. So we'll start with what we bought and why we made so many coins overnight, right? Honestly, best night for me in terms of making coins in recent memory. The last 2 weeks have been tough on the game. If you guys are traders or if you guys do try and make some coins here and there, it's been tough. It has been tough the last few weeks. But these Iniestas, this Totti card, this Havertz card, all the knockout royalty cards, I'm holding some Redeemers. This is what we called in previous videos, right? We called it exactly, and look what happened, right? So I'll just show you Iniesta to start. We sold for 1.86, 1.82. This card will continue to rise, by the way. I can see this card hitting 2 million coins, but like I said before, I've got some other investments I want to make, and that's what I want to jump into in just a second. But we'll start with the cards we already flipped, like Iniesta, and like the Havertz that we sold for 490 as well. Now, this is important, I think, because you guys can try and copy this and do it next week, and you can even do it tonight, right? Basically, this is just trading with the impact promo teams during Champs Rewards. And as you can see, Iniesta, we sold one at 8.2 and one at 8.6. It looks like he could be on the rise, and you think I might be sold too early. Again, it's because I want to invest some Evo cards, but look at this Iniesta last night, right, on the hourly. We bought at 1.6 and then 1.62, I think, were the two prices I bought for. So I bought him basically at midnight, and obviously, as you can see, he hit 1.67 average, but you can get undercuts on that price. That's the average price across the hour. And we sold for 1.8, and you can see that is insane profit, but it wasn't the only card. The entire market hit a low last night, and it's because these cards are much, much better than everything else on the game, apart from Team of the Years. And they're coming down in price because of how much supply they've got. But why have they got so much supply? From weekend league packs. You guys have been packing these cards like crazy in weekend league packs, or at least some people have. I haven't, but, you know, I'm seeing people pack them. Kai Havertz last night, we bought at 430 and 420. We bought round here again on undercuts, and we sold at 490. The entire promo did this, and we just picked the cards at the most demand, the cards that fell the most, and it's why I'm still holding this Medina card. We bought her, pages of her, at 33,000 coins. It wasn't hard to do last night at 33. She'll rise to 45. I'm almost certain of it, and we'll make crazy profits. You can probably do this again tonight, right? Tonight, we get Weekend League again. People play Weekend League on Monday. Overnight, people sell off the team, and no one's buying the team overnight on Monday. I would be very interested. Maybe you won't get the same lows. I don't think this Medina will fall to 33,000 coins, but I'm very, very sure you'll be able to get nice lows on all of these popular cards. So have a look at these cards tonight. He was a really popular one. We only bought one of him at 150, and he's been up this morning at 170. He's now back down a little bit, going towards 165. He'll do insanely well, because what I want to talk about with left-back evolutions that we spoke about in yesterday's video, and we also could get centre-back evolutions on the way, and that is why I'm liquidating to buy some other cards. But tonight, look out for these promo cards. Again, it's that sort of midnight to 1 a.m. UK time. Look out for them on dips. Don't buy for the sake of buying, but you could get some insane prices on these knockout royalty cards. On Iniesta, I got Hadji there as well, the Medina. The base icon Totti was just a regular flip using that FUT GG momentum trading that we talk about a lot. But honestly, boys, 500 or 700k, it's in between there in one night, and we're going to go again tonight on Monday night. But again, I keep saying I'm liquidating for Evo cards. This is what I'm looking for. If we go back to FUT GG and we go to players, this is exactly what I'm looking for. We spoke about left backs in yesterday's video. I want to also speak about centre backs, right? I think centre backs and left backs are both amazing. Obviously, max 87 rated because we're talking evolutions, but think about it, right? Think about your team in general. When is the last time we got a big centre back or a big left back evolution? We had the big Meeks right back evolution last week, so we should hopefully get a left back one this week. Again, no leaks on this, but a left back evolution should be coming. A centre back evolution could be coming. You can just come and do this, sort by overall, switch it then back to the FUT GG rating like this, and you'll get the highest FUT GG rated left backs and centre backs. And all we're looking for here is cards that have room to rise. Another card you might have seen on my transfer list is I've bought a load of this Espino at 35,000 coins, because he's one of the best left backs in the entire game. Pros love this card, and he's 35,000 coins. I think if we get an Evo on this card, right, if we get a left back Evo on this card, he can go straight up, not just to 45,000 coins like he has previously. I think this card goes to 50 to 70,000 coins because of how rare this card is now, being out of packs for so long, and more people are Evo in this card, right? And you can see this card go towards extinct if we get a left back evolution, and he's not the only one. There are so many cards you can take a look at. We spoke about Batcher the other day. We spoke about, obviously, Mendy now that he's there as well. But centre-backs as well, right? You flick off left-back. When's the last time we had a centre-back evolution? There's so many cards here primed for a nice, huge rise. Vitor Reis, right? Obviously, everyone invested in him at 13,000 coins. But if we get a good centre-back evolution, why can't he go to 20,000 coins? There are so many cards it's worth looking at to stock up on. At least club stock, right? You don't need to go and, go all in on these cards, but at least club stock them. This Antonio Silva, of course, is up from 21,000 coins, 22,000 coins. But throw one in the club, even at 22,000 coins, and just wait for a centre-back evolution that's 87 rated. He needs Intercept Plus, or he needs some, at least an Intercept base play style. I think some of these cards can do really, really well. And that would be what I'd be looking at to invest in right now. We've, of course, talked about fodder as well. It's similar to what we spoke about yesterday, and it's still an amazing play, right? 84s for 700 coins on bids. 85s for probably mid-2000s, like 2,500 coins on bids. You could even look at high-rated fodder, right? We're seeing like an all-time low here on 89s, or at least an all-time low from what we've seen in a while. The lowest they've been in the whole game cycle is 14,000 coins, and they are getting close to that again. So if you can get bids on 89s at 14,000 coins, or even lower, it is a no-brainer. Are we expecting them to rise anytime soon? We don't actually have any big SBCs leaked. Like, that's why 90s and 89s are quite low. As you guys will, I'm sure you've seen on Twitter or whatever, there's no huge SBCs leaked. So I do prefer low-rated fodder. And of course, we spoke about Team of the Weeks, trying to get these at like 14,000 coins and below. Very, very simple. But Evo investments and Team of the Weeks and informs and fodder and everything, it is the play right now. Again, overnight flips will go again tonight, but the market's still a little bit risky. The market's shown signs of, positive. People are back playing the game, but it is definitely still risky with icon swaps coming on Friday. But I think there's a lot of coins to be made this week, so stay tuned. We have got a lot we can do this week to climb up towards 10 million coins. We're still on about 2 million coins on the second account. We haven't touched that one too much, but I'm sure we can get there as well. Let me know what you guys are invested in down below. I'd be very interested, but this was the main point I wanted to talk about, because we've got no leaks on Twitter, so we don't really need to worry about what's coming in the game, because the game seems kind of quiet. It's a Monday night. We'll get upgrade packs tonight, I'm sure, and maybe we can even get a pack grind out if it's good enough to rinse that 89 icon SBC, if there's a good enough pack grind. Why are these tournaments such a problem for the game? And it's not just these tournaments. These tournaments are just a sort of an analogy or, an example of what's bad for the game, right? EA have changed the way from FIFA 14 or, fucking years ago on how the game plays, and it's all about this. It's all about objectives and evolutions. I actually showed you guys that evolution before that's like that crazy box-to-box centre mid. It's kind of part of it, right? What evolutions are on the game are cards that they push your team to the power curve, but obviously the whole nature of evolutions is that every single evolution that comes out should, in theory, be better than the last one, right? That's the way the game plays. What that means, though, is you're constantly behind, right? And I've never seen a bigger example of that gameplay loop we talk about in FC26, where everything's like you're never really up to speed, you're never at the power curve, you're constantly chasing it, unless you spend money, of course. I've never really seen as big as an example of it than these tournaments right here. They're by design, right? The lightweight tournament, the middleweight tournament, and the heavyweight tournament, even though they're good rewards, by the way. Again, I don't want to knock it. This is good content. It is genuinely good content, but it's why the game's unenjoyable, is that the lightweight tournament, by design, you can win that, and eventually you win the lightweight tournament, you then get put into the middleweight tournament, and eventually you can then, you might struggle in the middleweight tournament, you play against some good players, but eventually you'll win the middleweight tournament, you get put in the heavyweight tournament, and then you'll struggle again, sweaty tournament, all to get rewards. It's a complete gameplay loop where, again, you're always behind, and of course the best rewards are in the heavyweight royalty bonus. But I guarantee you guys have been feeling this across the last couple of days of the game and the last week of the game with these tournaments, with evolutions, and with objectives in general, right? I guarantee you guys have been feeling this. While we've had icon swaps here, because I assume a lot of you guys still haven't completed icon swaps. While we've had icon swaps with the tournament, does anyone else get the feeling when they jump on the game that you've got to get on, you've got to complete objective A, B, and C. You've got about an hour to do it. It feels like you need to get everything done in the time frame. You've probably got some, again, look at mine, right? You've probably got some evolutions that, they've got a couple of days until they expire. So I've got to go do this Leone, this Noonan, obviously this new Prince from Marines on Cisse evolution. You've got to go do those evolutions. Again, you might have an hour or two on the game. You then got to go do the lightweight tournament. And then you go, right, I've finished the lightweight tournament. That's out of the way. Okay, now I've got to go do the middleweight tournament. And you get good rewards, by the way, so it is worth doing. You then go and do the middleweight tournament. By the time you've done the middleweight tournament, you're done. You're knackered. You might have played champs on the weekend. You've then got to go do the heavyweight tournament. And the problem is that it's this battle between, yes, EA needs to bring content onto the game, but if they bring this content on, anyone who's got unlimited time can get ahead of the people who can only spend a few hours on the game. And you create this divide where casuals just get pushed away. Because casuals say, look, I'm not doing the heavyweight royalty bonus. I'm not doing that. I don't have time. I got kids. I got school. I got work, whatever it is. I'll do an Evo or two and I'll get off. And then they come in a game against someone like me who has a little bit more, not loads, but I have a little bit more time. And I can go and get the rewards from this. I can get Block Plus as a second Evo. I can go and get Bruiser Plus and Tiki Taka Plus as second Evos from these tournaments. And by nature, I'm then ahead of you. How are you going to enjoy the game, right? It's really tough to enjoy the game like that. And it's because of what EA are prioritizing, right? But I think there's something even sneakier with this. So just before we go and open our 89 icon player pick from before that I showed you guys, I'm going to go back onto paint. I want to show you guys. I think I've figured it out. I've cooked. I know why it's so unenjoyable at times to play this game. The paint master is back. But on a serious, this isn't like no gimmick. I do actually think I've spoken about this before, but I want to show you guys this again, right? This is what the game has felt like this year, to me at least. So when we're talking about objectives and that gameplay cycle where you're constantly behind and the game feels like a chore, I think the reason it's even worse this year, and it's been like this similarly in previous years, but I think more so this year, is this is what I'd say the curve of the game was, right? Game first comes out. We then get Black Friday, and Black Friday was a huge spike in like the power curve. Do you remember some of the Evos, the Bisek Evo and stuff you got on Black Friday? Huge spike, right? And the game went back down. So the next few weeks after Black Friday, I don't know if you guys remember, but they were crap. The next few weeks after Black Friday were crap, so it then goes up. We then got Winter Wildcards. And if you guys remember Winter Wildcards, everything was dead cheap. Jonathan Tah was about 20,000 coins. He was best centre back in the game. You got some nice Evos again, and you had this, right? So Black Friday, huge spike, but the next few games were so dead. Twitch viewers were down, YouTube viewers were down. People were burnt out from Black Friday. They came back for Winter Wildcards and Christmas, and the next few weeks are crap again. The next few weeks after Winter Wildcards were crap. No one really cared. It slowly creeps up. And guess what we had next? Team of the Year. Team of the Year was even worse because how many of you guys got this top end? How many of you guys packed the Team of the Year without spending money in the store? Probably even less, right? So Team of the Year is even worse. But again, you had this then after Team of the Year. What did it feel like with Future Stars? Yes, you had Icon Swaps, you had the Academy Evo, but so many people were burnt out. This is why the viewers fell. People got burnt out of chasing that higher Team of the Year, and then Future Stars was okay. It wasn't insane. It was okay. There was Icon Swaps. There was the Academy contract. We had all of that content on Friday, if you remember. Then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, nothing came on the game. It went really slow again. Viewers dipped. Power curve creeps up. And now it feels like with Knockout Royalty again, we're seeing at least a little spike, right? Knockout Royalty's pulled it a little bit. These cards are really easy to pack. We've got some decent Evos, 2 playstyle plus Evos now coming onto the game. You can't run a game like this. You can't run a game having constant gameplay cycles where you have little spikes, dips, little spikes, dips. I wonder why, oh, well, at this point in time, why were Twitch streams down? At this point in time, why was no one on YouTube watching the game? Obviously, they weren't going to watch the game. They could have just played at Black Friday. They'll come back at Winter Wildcards. They get that same gameplay loop. People don't have 24/7 to spend on the game. So, as I'm sure you guys know, I'm super positive about the game. I love this game. I love just playing football as a simulation game. I'm just sad that EA treating it like this a little bit. They're basically prioritizing time on the game and money spent. And I think the way EA think about it is that if time on the game goes up, then enjoyment goes up. But what actually is happening is, if we just go back to objectives, time on the game is not correlating to enjoyment right now because of the way EA are doing it. They're running it like a constant content loop. Not good content, I don't think. Like, this was good content, so I'm in the middle about it. But it's a content loop. EA are trying to do it so you can just about, by the time you finish the heavyweight tournament, just as you finish it, there's another loop on the game that makes the last tournament irrelevant. There's another loop, because we get icon swaps on Friday. When we get icon swaps on Friday, there'll be more tournament, more content. And yes, there has to be content on the game. But EA, rather than prioritizing gameplay enjoyment and making people enjoy the actual gameplay itself, they're prioritizing time on the game, kind of like how mobile games do it. I don't know if you guys played mobile games when you were younger, but kind of like how mobile games doing it. But like I say, rant aside, I'm actually quite positive about the game. I just, with EA, would treat it differently. But it is, of course, 89 Encore Icon Player Pack time. This is what we were all talking about. This is what we want to open. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want me to pack Winter Wildcards Ronaldinho. And when I get Winter Wildcards Foodie in this, that does not mean that you shouldn't do it. It's still a good value SBC. But let's crack it open. We can do a stat reveal. We will see. I think that is champion. That is Gerrard, isn't it? As a Liverpool fan, if it's Gerrard, that is the single worst one in the entire game. But if it's Steven Gerrard, the skipper, the captain, I'm joking, that is the worst one in the entire game. When we get evolutions, we can obviously evo that Gerrard, but that is not a good look for the icon pack. Hell, that is shocking, isn't it? Oh my god. Hey, still go and complete it. Let me know down below what you get. Of course, if you're in the Discord, put your packs in the pack show-off channel. You literally can't get worse than me. I just took all the way the bad luck. You guys have to get better than me, so let me know who you go and get from that 89 Encore upgrade. And yeah, subscribe if you're new, all that good stuff. And until next time, boys, I'll see you all in a bit.